What's up, you guys? Laura Stewart from Laura Stewart Blog here again to make another IGTV tutorial for you guys. The number one question I get on Facebook as well as Instagram, for the most part with the exception of my lashes, is my hair. The first thing that I want to go over with you guys is the link for all of these products is going to be in my profile. First thing that I'm going to go over is purple shampoo if you're blonde. And any version of blonde this will work for, but if you want these icy blonde, almost purple silvery pieces in your hair, then my hands are gonna get purple. I highly recommend the Violet Purple Toning Shampoo. I use this usually at least about once a week. You let it set in for, I don't know, 3 minutes before you wash it out. Condition is normal. When you blow dry your hair, you're going to notice that pretty much all of the brass is out of your hair. I've used $50 bottles of purple shampoo. I've used generic purple shampoo. I will always come back to this. Because I like big Texas hair, obviously you need to boost, in some cases if your hair is not very thick, your root. So I use the Grande Root Boost. This is probably the third bottle that I've gone through because I love this stuff. I use it when my hair is wet. I also use it sometimes after I've dried my hair if I want like big hair. This right here is called Whip. It is a mousse. It provides, and I put it in when my hair is wet before I blow dry, it provides a little bit of like thickness and texture. And if you want your curls to stay, texture is going to be your best friend. There's one other product that I use for texture, and it's and I'm almost out of it, I need to order more. It's the Salt and Sea Spray. I use this on wet hair before blow drying. I also use it on my dry hair after I curl, and you guys will see how this affects the curl. It's amazing. Again, have gone through 2 bottles of this and it's time for me to order again. I also wanted to go over their hairbrushes. So I have 3 of them right here and I'm gonna kind of go over these really quickly. So these are all versions of paddle brushes. Me personally, I don't like this one. I feel like it pulls my hair, but I know a lot of hairstylists actually love this version of the brush when you're blow drying because it has this space. It's not my cup of tea. It's not my favorite. These 2 right here, I will order again and again and again. And again, they're pink, so they match all of my stuff. This right here, I actually use most of the time for myself. It's just a paddle brush with the traditional bristles. This one right here, I use on my daughter. She's extremely tender-headed. She does not like her hair brushed. It's been a problem all of her life. And this right here is very similar to the one that I use. The only exception is this one has boar's hairs in there as addition to the traditional bristles. So if you're somebody that is extremely tender-headed or has issues with knots in your hair, this right here is going to be your best friend. The main thing that I'm going to recommend for you, regardless of how you're curling your hair, blow drying your hair, the Rival Heat Shield. Anytime you are curling your hair, blow drying your hair, applying heat to your hair, it's always recommended to put a heat shield on it. The other tip that I'm going to tell you is when you apply this, don't immediately go into curling your hair because you don't want to put strong heat onto wet hair. It'll fry your hair. Don't do it. I'm just going to go straight into how I curl my hair, how I style my hair. Just so you know, I did use the purple shampoo yesterday. I blow dried with the mousse and the Salt and Sea Spray. I did the Grande Root Boost. After I blow dry, I immediately go in with dry shampoo. It's kind of like a preemptive strike so that overnight your hair doesn't produce a whole lot of oil, and if it does, that dry shampoo is already there to soak it up. I'm gonna go in with the Rival Heat Shield. If you guys like your curls to stay, if you have a hard time getting your curls to stay, I'm going to tell you over and over again, whether you use these products or a different brand, without putting texture in your hair and without giving it something to grab onto, it's just not going to hold. I'm just going to spray all over the back with this because that's where I'm going to start. And then I'm going to let it dry for just a second. I actually start on the back with a curling iron. I like to work in sections just because it's easier for me to see what I've already curled and what I haven't. I start in the back and I use a little bit bigger pieces when I'm curling with the wand with the curling iron versus the wand, just because the back is not as important to me as what's going to be in the front and around my face. Okay, so now that I've gone on the underside all the way around, because those are the shortest hairs, I'm going to do the back the same way, just not as much. So I'm going to take all the hair on the top of my crown and the sides, and I'm going to pin that up. Now that I've got some of the back pieces and underneath pieces curled, I go into the curling wand. This is the 25 millimeter titanium ondulé. I am going to start a little bit further back, and all of the pieces, as I mentioned, around your face, you're going to curl away from your face. I prefer to put the wand up and down, and you can see what a difference. And I like to leave the ends a little bit straight. So one, it protects my fingers, and two, it provides just a little bit, I don't know, like a kind of a messy curl look. Typically the last few pieces that I have that are surrounding the face, I pull the iron a little bit lower than wrapping it all the way to the root. So you want to go away from the face, curl it like you've done the rest, but I'm not going all the way to the root with this piece. I'm keeping it a little bit lower. You can see it starts here versus up here. So I go through, like I said, even where I've curled with the curling iron, and I just grab a couple of pieces on top around my head, just so that the curl looks the same all the way around. Once I have all the curls that I need to do, I go and do my bangs last. Yesterday or the day before, I actually split it. And sometimes it's hard to recreate the exact look. Now that they've had a little bit of time to cool down, I go through and just finger brush my hair. All right, and that is how I curl my hair. What I do after I've curled it, for holding purposes, for appearance purposes, is I give a little bit of spray with this, and I'm hoping that you can see. And then I take my hand and don't put a whole lot of pressure, I just lift. I'm a hairspray girl. Some people prefer not to use it. One of my favorites obviously is Lange. This is the Trois Chic, and it's three-way spray. It's really innovative. I love it. It's got this spray tip on it. It is aerosol, but it's got low, medium, and high. So depending upon how much product you want to come out, that's really, like, I think it's an awesome idea. That is how I get the curls that I want. I typically top it off with either shine spray. I really like using the Ménage Marula oil. Not only does it smell good though, it provides like a really pretty sheen or shine. I take a wide tooth comb, and there's two things that I do. One, I kind of grab my curls and I very lightly lift up. So it gives you a slightly fuller effect without actually having to back comb your hair. So I just grab my hair, kind of start at the top, lift, lift, lift. That right there is probably twice the volume than what I had. I'm gonna give it a quick spray to hold that lift. All right, you guys, that is my tutorial for how I get my curls, my big Texas hair. If you have any questions, let me know. Again, the link to shop these is going to be in my bio. It'll be the link you can click. And I'm gonna try to link or comment my favorites in the title of this video so that it makes it easier for you guys. Don't hesitate to send me a message, and I will help the best way that I can. I hope you guys are having an amazing day, and I will talk to you soon.